Hey everybody, Marty and Jonathan here.
Hey.
Jonathan, we just got finished watching
Yes.
the entirety of Marvel's The Defenders. We're going full spoilers. We want to talk right now about the very last shot and what that means for the Marvel Netflix universe going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. So we know Daredevil season 3 is coming.
Yes.
And so
but I thought he died under
he
the
does.
collapse.
Thank God the season ends with that final scene.
Yeah.
So of course you know they're not going to kill Daredevil. I mean, knowing that there's a season 3 didn't really help that moment have any tension
Sure.
to it, which is kind of a bummer. But it ends with Matt in a bed in sort of a nunnery. He's in some wing of a church, I assume. And a nun says, "Let Maggie know he's up."
Yeah.
And Maggie is, of course, the name of Matt Murdock's mother in the comics.
Sure, so he had his Martha moment.
Yes, he had the fact that it starts with M.A. also. It might as well have just changed it to Martha. But so that moment starts that, and that's sort of a very famous moment from the Daredevil comics in Born Again. One of my favorite Marvel comics ever, and I think one of the best Daredevil runs easily. And there's a moment where he reunites with his mother and sort of learns about his past with her and all of that. And they can sort of set up that storyline. That storyline heavily involves Kingpin, so obviously they'd have to change some things. But it also involves Nuke. And Nuke, that character, was also involved in Jessica Jones season 1.
Yeah, he's the guy taking all the drugs.
Yeah, and so that's a big part of his character. He's much more hyper insane in the comics, so they would have to do a lot to sort of reach that level. But he was reaching sort of that point in the show, and so some of the pieces are in play to introduce part of this storyline. I think it's a storyline people want to see, even if some of it has obviously been touched on with Kingpin.
Is part of that story explaining how he survived his dragon tomb with a building falling on him?
He chewed a piece of the dragon bone right before it fell, and so he was immortal.
Yeah,
I think that's how dragon
I think it's safe to assume if he survived that both possibly Madame Gao as well as Elektra also survived, so they might be coming back in season 3 as well.
I would hope for sure Elektra survived. Elodie Young, I think, is great in that role. She was my favorite part of Daredevil season 2. I think to not have her come back would be a misuse of that character.
Okay, very cool. Okay, but Daredevil side, what's the runway look like for the upcoming seasons of shows?
Yeah, so right now the next immediate thing coming up is The Punisher,
which you get the trailer for.
You got the trailer. He is not in the season at all. There was a lot of hubbub about maybe he's in, maybe he's not. He's just straight up not in it.
And looking at that trailer, I would be surprised if any of these characters are in his show.
Yes, we know a couple of the side characters, like Karen Page will be in it, but I don't think, beyond maybe a quick cameo, I don't think any of the Defenders will appear. But his storyline right now seems very siloed off. But that's coming next. We don't have an official date. People expect later this year, which would mean this is the first time we've gotten 3 Netflix series, I believe, in a year, which will be a lot, but they're kind of pushing ahead. We now have 2nd or 3rd seasons coming of all the other Defenders. We know Jessica Jones has been filming.
Okay.
Luke Cage, I believe, started filming this summer. And then Iron Fist, one of the actors on the show, said they hope to start filming by December.
Okay.
So that would fast track all of those. In terms of Daredevil, though, we have no idea when Daredevil starts.
So we know, we leave Jessica, she has the Alias investigation agency officially open. We know Kilgrave is coming back in some capacity. You were saying that you hope that he's sort of this figment of her imagination that's haunting him.
Yeah, so there was a first look photo that revealed that he's coming back. We don't know in what capacity. Obviously, he died. I don't want him to be resurrected. I don't want any resurrection there. I want him to be essentially the Joker to her Batman in Batman Arkham Knight, something along those lines where she's dealing with the stress of everything that happened from her season and the Defenders now, and unfortunately, her PTSD is affecting her in that sense that he now is manifested in front of her and taunting her and all these things, and I want her to have to push her out of her life.
I think that's really cool. I love the idea that he's, even if after she kills him, he's still there.
Yes, yeah.
I personally hope that, I know you said a 2nd season of Luke Cage and a 2nd season of Iron Fist. I hope those are one and the same.
I would love that,
A lot of moments in The Defenders set up the idea of Power Man and Iron Fist.
Absolutely.
Which makes so much sense because, I mean, obviously they have a long history in the comics, but they are also such great foils to each other.
Totally. I mean, the fact that one of my favorite earliest scenes in The Defenders is when the two of them fight in the alleyway when they're still confronting each other. And Luke Cage is like, what are you gonna do? And then that's the first time he gets hit. He's, oh, damn, this guy has something.
This can happen. And you know, Luke Cage is one of those heroes who he's not leaving New York. He's not leaving Harlem. That's his role. And at the end of Defenders, you do see Danny Rand sort of in that hero shot looking over the city where he is having that moment where he's like, Daredevil's gone, it's now my job to help protect this city.
Absolutely.
And so the idea, this could perfectly set up the two of them working in tandem, and I think both characters could rise for it.
Yeah, I think even if we won't I think they will both get their own 2nd seasons and likely interweave between them in the way that Luke Cage was in Jessica Jones season 1. My hope is that neither of them get a season 3 necessarily, and they also get a season 3 together, is what my hope would be for them. But they have such a great supporting cast too. We know that Misty Knight Obviously, at the end, she gets her arm cut off, which opens the door for her to get her bionic arm, which is what happens in the comics.
Tony Stark.
As how it happens in the comics. Of course, it will happen in the Defenders.
That's going to be the one time they bring in someone from
like,
the actual
I guess we can call him in. He's not busy. But yeah, so that they set up that potential. They're obviously setting up Colleen Wing to continue to be a major player in all of this, almost on the level of the rest of the Defenders. So there's a lot going on there, and there's a lot more territory to explore with Luke Cage. So I think I would hope though a season 3 for the two of those characters, if it happens, kind of brings them together. Jessica Jones could just keep solving cases.
No,
I'm cool with that. Just let her keep doing it.
And then the last thing, I think it's a given personally. Defenders season 2.
I think they have to, but I really want them to focus on what that means, because I think parts of the Defenders season 1 feel both rushed and sort of ramshackled together. Like some of it just feels like this happened because we happened to create the Hand as a villain. And they're like, they were behind everything the whole time. I want that to mean something more in season 2. Whatever these next few seasons build up to, especially with Daredevil season 3, we don't know where that's gonna go, but it sets up a potential Born Again run. I want there to be real emotional heft to that season, whatever it is, but I think to not do it would be crazy. And you'll have Punisher, you'll have Colleen Wing, you'll have more of these people, and hopefully more Rosario Dawson. She's great.
I don't think she's going anywhere.
No.
And as long as Luke and Jessica kiss at the end.
Yeah,
I'm shipping them. Hard together.
They're great. I love them so much.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. We're going to have a lot more spoiler talks on everything Defenders, including whether or not the Iron Fist himself is redeemed and the overall villain problem of the Defenders. So for everything else, Marvel, Netflix, and the Defenders, stay right here on IGN.